Happy Thanksgiving, people. Or as we Brits like to say, happy no Thanksgiving. Or even more simply, happy Thursday. Now, Gavin Newsom has put out another delicious tweet slamming Trump for ruining the countries to anybody with a pulse, which has caused Republicans, those people famous for having such thick skin and loathing snowflakes, to absolutely melt down on Twitter. The absolute melts. It has caused quite a controversy around grocery prices, with many Republicans bending over backwards to try and prove that the skyrocketing prices of groceries are actually lower than ever. And bending over backwards is a dangerous activity for Republicans, as they already spend most of the day bent over, ready to take a good stuffing from their turkey-in-chief, Donald Ebenezer Trump. I'm going to show you the latest savage Twitter bashing from Gavin Newsom, and then dive into the controversy around Thanksgiving dinner prices, so we can see just who the real turkeys are here. Hint, it's MAGA. The lights are dim at the Really American offices, and the sounds of distant laughter and the smell of overpriced roast turkeys are drifting into my frigid cubicle. So please spare a thought for those of us who don't have family, or whose family doesn't give a shit about Thanksgiving, and subscribe to Really American to help keep the lights on. Alright, let's look at Gavin Newsom's post. Whatever you may think of him as a politician, you've got to hand it to him for being the first person willing to get down to MAGA's level to speak to them. Which of course means putting his underpants on his head and wallowing around in shit. And boy, does it make them mad. So, from the Governor Newsom press office, simply says, "Welcome to Trump's golden era," in the famous Trump "I'm very stupid," all caps post. And even more deliciously, what it is a screenshot of the Drudge Report. And if you guys don't know what the Drudge Report is, it's basically, a very conservative news outlet that happens to despise Donald Trump, quite sensibly. Which of course means that all the very sensible MAGAs now brand it as being insane leftist Marxist news. But yes, from the actually conservative Drudge Report, a tariff Thanksgiving, turkey price up 24%, grim retail sales, consumer confidence spirals, and the MAGAs in the comments are fucking mad. Now get ready to try not to laugh at how stupid these people are, because the first post, just look at the first post and maybe think to yourself, where have they gone wrong here? The first angry comment: "Down from 163, 2022, losers." Now, of course, you and I, people with brains might be thinking, well, that's not like a consumer report. That's a deal offer from the crazy coupon lady. But, they meant well. Let's keep going. "Strange, ours was cheaper than last year's. This is more propaganda from the king." There's levels of stupidity to this one, because if you think about it, you have to be a real moron to use one data point to try and make a point, especially when that data point is your own. And the other thing is that who the hell thinks of Gavin Newsom as king? Like, is this just some, pathetic cope where they're like, well, everyone's calling a Trump king because, acts and talks like one, so we're going to call Newsom a king. Like, okay. I love this person's username. "Enraged Texan. Enraged Texan. Maybe in California." I don't know why he's from Georgia, whatever. And somebody called Ted simply says, "$16 turkeys at Costco." And it's like, oh, that's nice, Ted. Could you get back to your crayons, because the adults are talking about the fucking economy here. And yet another genius who thinks that their lived experience dictates all of reality. "Oh, a $17 butterball turkey. Oh, you know what? The economy's fine. Let me just go and buy a house." That was me pretending to whistle. I can't whistle. Why did I just admit that on camera? And this guy says, "Turkeys are raised here. No tariff." Because obviously turkeys just spawn. Just ready-made from the ground. They grow on turkey trees, in fact. They don't eat things or require things to live that might come from other countries. And then finally, an enlightened meme in a sea of academic piss, Trump spotted leaving the pardoned turkey's hotel room. Love it. Don't worry, I'm going to get off Twitter comments soon for my sanity and for yours, but this interaction was one of the funniest I've seen in a while. Now, at least this person is asking the right questions, they just might not like the answers. Check this out. "At Grok, well, how can turkey cost more when it costs less? I'm confused." And Grok replies, "Turkey prices are confusing due to the fact that you're a moron." No, sorry, that's not it. "Due to conflicting reports. Retail prices for a 16-ounce, pound, that would be a very small turkey, are down 16%. Wholesale prices are up 75% from bird flu supply shortages. Judge's 24% hike likely refers to wholesale. Retailers may be absorbing costs for the holidays." Yeah. Now, once again, MAGA has run into that annoying roadblock of asking Grok, Elon Musk's brain-dead, lobotomized, right-wing chatbot, for an answer, preferably one that aligns with his worldview, and didn't get one. Undeterred, they continue. "Or maybe people are just putting a partisan spin on things. Or both. I trust a junkie to guard my wallet more than I trust Gavin Blue Scum. Hoo-hoo-hoo." But Mr. Twitter idiot, the lobotomized Grok, cares not for your partisanship. Check this out. Retail prices are indeed down. 2% this Thanksgiving, to about $21 for a £16 bird, despite wholesale prices rising 44% due to bird flu reducing supply. Retailers are holding prices steady for now by absorbing costs or using stockpiles. Future impacts could vary. But this brave McGuardian is determined to make Grok say the truth, as in his worldview. Why would tariffs affect domestically grown products? Do we import turkeys? See, I like that AI bots now are clever enough to understand dumb fucks. Tariffs mainly affect imports, but can indirectly raise domestic prices via higher costs for input, like feed or equipment, if those are imported. And this clown keeps going. It's like flicking a coin that has heads on both sides, just wishing to get tails. Why would Gavin Blue Scum blame Trump tariffs for raising turkey prices when turkey is a domestic product? Certainly not to dishonestly smear the president, right? The thing this person isn't clever enough to understand is that AI bots are generally impervious to leading questions. They don't give a fuck, really. And it basically repeats itself again. You can hear the facepalm in its voice. It's like, Gavin Newsom's post cites a drudge headline linking tariffs to a 24% turkey price hike. Turkeys are mostly domestic, but tariffs could indirectly raise costs via imported feed equipment, e.g. soy from abroad. Let me spell it out for you. And this genius comes back with, basically, it's more Orange Man bad. You can just say it. We all know. What does this person think Grok is? Does he think Grok is like a little hamster in a sweatsuit with a little brain thing attached to Elon Musk? No. And if you guys are wondering why I've been bothering with this whole interaction, it gets so delicious at the end. Check this out. Somebody else replies saying, is that what they say in the Netherlands? Since when did the Dutch care so much about American politics? Which is a glorious reminder to use the recent Twitter feature to check where they're posting from. And Bing. Account based in the Netherlands. Imagine living in the Netherlands and wasting your time being a MAGA bot online. Like, what is wrong with these people? There's so much fun stuff to do in the Netherlands. And in another concerning sign that the foundation of our reality is fragmenting and our universe is actually melding with hell itself, right-wing media is also posting in support of the idea that turkey prices are higher. Because they are.
It's great to have you with us this Thanksgiving. Time now to drain the swamp, and this morning we are flushing out the rising costs to celebrate Thanksgiving. Wholesale turkey prices are skyrocketing to an average of $1.32 per pound this year, up about 40% from the last holiday. As food costs climb,
fake news!
Prices are skyrocketing to an average of $1.32 per pound this year, up about 40% from the last holiday. As food costs climb, this holiday price hike serves as a reminder that inflation still hits home, even at the Thanksgiving table. Let's bring in Dr. Gina, David, and Terrence for more. You know, you guys, it's not Thanksgiving without the bird. You got to have the turkey on your table. I think it's certainly disappointing.
Jesus, right-wing media is insane. These people all look like somebody went to the character creator on a video game and clicked a random button.
Disappointing that families may be struggling to put this meal on their table this year.
Is that the problem, David Brody?
I knew you were going to say that. I was hoping to get away from. I wanted to go to break. Shoot. Yes, that is the problem.
You know what?
I can only afford an empanada.
It's so funny. He's joking. He can only afford an empanada because that's what like poor people or immigrants eat. But he can afford that because he's probably making millions grifting like a piece of shit.
It's so high that this year just wasn't the year to go get the bird.
It's what it is. The economy is what it is. Brilliant.
Eggs or turkey wings, but
Yeah, don't blame it on your lack of patriotism, your lack of sentimental regard for our pilgrims. And actually, I don't even think it was turkey, but we think it was turkey. It's all in our minds.
We are truly in the end times. Like, they're discussing the economy, and because it's not Biden in office, they're like, it is what it is. But when you're eating gruel and licking scraps off the floor, remember that you're still a true patriot. This shit is insane. Who is watching this like, yes, I am. And finally, just to clarify a point that I guess Grok was making earlier, in case you asked that, they're like, well, I actually did spend less for a turkey this year. Like that, yes, it's very possible, but the individual price you pay doesn't actually tell you what the actual price of turkeys is. Check this out. From PolitiFact. This Thanksgiving, turkey prices are at the lowest point since 2000. False. A Republican North Carolina congressman says his party is responsible for sending turkey prices lower than they've been in 25 years. This Thanksgiving, turkey prices are at their lowest point since 2000 thanks to Republican policy. I know grocery prices are a concern for many of you peasants, he wrote, which is why I'm working to keep prices moving in the right direction after the deflationary spike over the last 4 years. This bit is amazing. The newsletter linked to a November 19th report by the American Farm Bureau Federation that doesn't support his claim because he knows who cares. My voters are MAGA. They don't give a shit. Just tell them, the earth is green. Tell them the sky is black. You can link them to an article saying, no, the sky is blue, lol, you morons. And they'll be like, okay, cool. We found no credible reports showing retail turkey prices hitting a 25-year low in 2025. Yeah, not surprising. I don't want to read all of this because it's, very data heavy. And if there's any MAGA watching, I might make their brain dribble out of their ear. But, I'll give you the headlines, basically. The average price of a turkey was lower in 2019, so that already debunks the 25-year thing. In the past, turkey was between 40 and 45% of a Thanksgiving meal's cost. This year, it's gone down to 39%. But that's because the prices of other items have risen. Produce prices are up because farmers are facing higher costs for fertilizer, fuel, machinery, and labor, the Bureau found. Now, why would that have happened? Who could have done something stupid like that? Here's another wrinkle. Turkey prices are tracked in a number of ways, and this year, Americans may come across seemingly contradictory headlines. Wholesale prices are up, but retail prices are down in many places. This is what Grok was getting at. And to be fair, it's not even just tariffs, it's also a rise in bird flu cases. But, don't worry, because this administration is amazing at handling infectious outbreaks. So the cost of a whole frozen turkey is now $1.77 per pound, up from 97 cents per pound during last year. That's an insane increase. But many consumers are paying lower prices for turkey than they were last year. One reason is that retailers typically secure their supply of turkeys, way in advance of Thanksgiving. But a huge reason behind this is because they're now using turkeys as a loss leader to get people inside shops. The reality we live in now is so dystopian, they're selling food at a loss to get people to buy other shit. So no, the cost of turkey isn't down, it's significantly up. And if you paid lower prices, it's just because retailers want to try and hide the fact that the world is going to shit. And the other thing is that the response you normally see to tariffs is usually delayed. I think a lot of economists are saying we won't see the full impact of tariffs until next year. So things are only going to get worse from here. Happy Thanksgiving. This year, I would be really thankful if you could subscribe to this channel. I'm British Chris, and I'm really American.